Hi, this is Rahim Zulfiqar. I welcome you to this webinar, and I hope you will learn a lot of new things regarding Microsoft Excel and tips and tricks and how we can create an analytical dashboard. Let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Rahim Zulfiqar and I am Microsoft Certified Trainer. I have completed certifications of Microsoft Office expert exams for Excel and MS Office for 2016, 2019 and Excel 365, and I am member of International Microsoft Certified Trainers as well. This website is one-stop solution for all my updates regarding training, consultancy, templates. Or I am very thankful for the platform that is Excel Virtually Global 2024 that they have provided me opportunity to speak with you. So let's start the session.
We will be learning that how to create this specific sales analytical dashboard in Microsoft Excel with the help of Power Pivot and DAX. Okay, so if I give you a demonstration, you can see there is a design and I have put some slicers on top, and the KPIs, these have been extracted with the help of explicit measures. We have put some DAX, then we have visualizations. Okay, there is also a sheet called workings, so I will show you how to work on it. So if I click on any of the field in the slicer, you can see that entire dashboard will get updated, right? And if I can click on any of the specific quarter, and for example for 2010, so we are seeing 2010 for Q3, that is July, August, September. You can change it to like 2011 Q2, that is April, May and June. So on single click, your entire dashboard is being basically dynamic, and that is being created on the backend with the help of Power Pivot. And let's get started how to complete this dashboard. Okay, so I will have this one blank file. We will start from very basic so that every user can understand, and then we will be finishing at like this particular dashboard. So you need Power Pivot ribbon or tab in your Excel version. So Power Pivot is available for almost all the versions, but not for Excel 2007 and before. So you can find Excel in Excel 2010, 13, 16, 2019 version, Excel 365 as well. In 2016 you will find in professional version, but not in home or enterprise edition. So there are some quite limitation in terms of office editions as well with respect to versions, but in most of the versions the Power Pivot is being available. Sometimes it's visible or it's not, so you need to enable that add-in as well. I am using Microsoft Office Excel 2021 and with the Office 365 subscription, so it's available with me. Alright, so let's get started. I will click on Manage icon and it will open up a new window that is for the Power Pivot, where we will be creating the we will be importing the data from multiple sources. Alright, so this is the entirely blank window of Power Pivot. So let's start importing data from different kind of files. So first we will add some Excel files. So I will click on this icon that is called from other sources. So it will open up a window that is table import wizard. So I will scroll down and I will select Excel file. I will click on next. Then I need to browse that location. So I have already copied that Excel file, that is products data. Open, make sure that you check mark on used first choice column headers as a check mark. Click on next. Now you need to select the table, not the sheet. So primarily whenever you import any Excel file and you being shown like either you select a sheet or a table, you will select a table instead of a sheet. Okay, so I will select products, which is stored inside this Excel workbook in the sheet as products. You can also click on preview and filter button, and if you want anything which you don't want to import, for example if you don't want to have the product subcategory, you can uncheck, or even if you want to have this column but not specifically any field within this column, so you can just uncheck that field. That will exclude in the process. Okay, so you can use this interface. What the user is basically required to import the data at the initial stages. Primarily this is the user interface. The other thing is that sometimes user brings the data from SQL Server, where the user writes SQL and try to add all those columns or exclude those columns through script or programming. But here in the Power Pivot we have this feature, that is preview and filter, where the user can think of it that what are those fields which needs to be import or not. Okay, so click OK and then click on finish. So all the rows will be successfully imported. Click on close, and now you can see there is a data which you can see on your Power Pivot window, right? Now we need to import the other Excel files as well with the similar process. So let's get start and do it. We will click on from other sources. We will go to Excel file as a type, browse that location. So we have brought the products data already. Now this time we will bring in regions data, and remember that this products data, regions data, the stores data, all are dimension tables because it contains the unique information related to that business segment. Okay, so regions data, click on open. Make sure that you check mark on use first row as column headers. Click on next. Okay, so select that the table which is regions. Click on finish, close. Now you can see that an additional tab is being added inside your Power Pivot window, which recognize as a data from other Excel sheet, right? Other Excel workbook. Similarly, we will import one remaining file from that is also Excel type. So click on browse. Now this is Superstore data. We will bring that data. Make sure that you check mark use first row as column headers. Next. Again, you can preview and filter. Now this time you don't have table inside that sheet. You have just sheet name that is called dates and that $sign mark. So you need to bring that sheet which will contains the data. Click next, click close. Now we have that data. Okay, now we will bring the data from other kind of a file. For example, in this case we have an Access file as well. So I will click on from database, then from Access, click on browse. Let's bring the Access data which contains the customers and orders data. Click on next. Now here you have the two choices. You need to select one of them. Either you can bring or import data from a list of tables, and you can view and filter what kind of a data you want to choose to import, or you can write a specific query as well. So we will select the first option. We will use the interface to bring and import the data. Now in Access file we have two tables. The first one is for the customers and the second one is for the orders. Now it could be possible that there could be more than 2-3 tables, and when you want to decide that which tables needs to be import in this process, so the one of the help is to click on select related tables button here, and you need to select at least one table first, then you click on select related tables. So system can automatically detect if there is any kind of a relationship between these two tables. So how to identify a relationship? Because in this particular example the customer ID is available in the customers table and as well as in the orders table. So one is the fact table which is the orders table, and the customers table is a dimension table. So it is being working as a primary and foreign key altogether. So our relationship is there based on a customer ID. So it's necessary to import these two tables. Now for example, in future if you import some data from Excel file or from Access and you have some more than 5, 6 or 10 tables, and you want to select, or you need to identify that what are those necessary tables which needs to import. So what you can do is you can just check one table and then click on select related tables, which helps you to identify the relationship. If it's necessary to bring, the system will detect automatically. Another feature which we have discussed about preview and filter, you can click on it and you can just customize according to your preference that which columns you need to import and which you want to exclude. Okay, so I will press OK, click on finish, and all the rows will get successfully imported into the Power Pivot window. Now you can see there are 5 tabs available, and this all data is being came from different Excel files. The two of these sheets have been came from Access and the other are Excel workbooks. We have one more data type here. We will bring the data from a text file that we need to go to from other sources. Then I will click on text file, click on next, and I will browse that. So all the returns data is being stored in the text file. Click on open. Make sure that you check use first row as column headers. So text files are mostly by default tab delimited. So select column separator as tab. Okay. Some of the text file contains as a comma separator or a semicolon, a space colon as well, but most of them are tab delimited. Okay, and you can see that there are two columns, order ID and status, which is coming right into that appropriate columns. Click on finish to import the data and click on close now. So now we have finished importing all the data from different kind of files. That includes 3 Excel workbooks, 1 Access file and 1 Notepad file. And you can see that this is a kind of a small data warehouse which we have created inside Microsoft Excel within Power Pivot window. So till here we will save our work. When you open this file next time, you will find that there is nothing inside Excel. So don't get confused because you are working inside the Power Pivot. So you have to again go to Power Pivot and click on manage, and it will open up a new window, and here we have the data is being stored. Okay, so whatever the customizations you want to do backend, your data will be shown inside the Power Pivot window, not on the Excel interface. Okay, so don't get confused that I have imported the data and now it's being not showing in the Excel spreadsheet, because it's being stored inside the Power Pivot. So click on manage and it will there for you, right? So let's proceed with the data modeling. We will be creating a star schema here, and then we will be applying some DAX. Okay, so now the next step is to proceed with the data modeling part, and for this we will go to home tab, and now we will click on diagram view. So currently we are in the data view, so we need to either create a star schema or snowflake schema, or need to see the model of the data, so we have to click on diagram view. Alright, so now you can see we have imported all the data from different files as being shown as tables. So we will put them on one window, so we can just easily drag and drop them, and we will place the fact table in the center and placing the dimension tables around it, so it will looks like a star schema as we saw in the presentation just before I explain you. So we put them like this. So as you can see, there is already one relationship is being created between the orders and customers, because these two tables came from Access, and the customer ID is basically the common column which was available in both the tables. Don't assume that this particular line is going to customer name and this is going to SKU, so this is the relationship. No, it's just a presentation, but when you hover your cursor on this particular line, it will automatically highlight those common columns which is being based and created a relationship. Now we want to make a relationship between the other tables, other dimension table, with this fact table, that is orders. So for the dates, we will pick the date and slightly drag and drop on this particular field in the orders table, that is order date. So this both the dates column will join together as one-to-many relationship. Okay. Then we have the order ID in the returns data. We will connect that with the orders table. Okay. Then SKU ID in the products table with the SKU field in the orders table. And then we will connect this regions table as well. So we will connect this province ID with the customers table, that is province. So two dimension tables can be connected with each other. Probably it looks like a star schema where there is one fact table and all others are the dimension tables, and we have created a star schema. Okay. So once we have confident that we have correctly created relationship between dimension and fact table and the schema is all about ready, so we will move to the data view again, and at the bottom this area we will start adding the explicit measures, and we will using the DAX in it to be placed in Power Pivot later on. So let's start. First we need to add two calculated columns. We have unit sell price, we have the discount column, we need a net sell price column, and then we need the order quantity to be multiplied by net sell price to have the order amount. So we will be adding two calculated columns for our further calculation, and then we will be moving towards those explicit measures. So how to add calculated column? Click on add column, go to formula bar, and here we will be writing that particular DAX. So first we will give that column. So we will define net sell price, then colon equal to, if you are using Power BI and in Microsoft Power BI, if you write the measure, you will not put the colon sign, but if you are using Excel Power Pivot, so you have to put this colon sign and then equal sign. Okay, so we will be starting with, we will round that number, and that will be unit sell price. So just press the tab key, it will write for you unit sell price multiply by 1 minus discount. Okay, and bracket close, comma 2, we need 2 decimal places which will be around that number. Press the enter key, that will create a column of net sell price, and this, as we know, that calculated column is a raw context. The calculation is going raw by raw, right? Another calculated column we will be adding here is for the order amount. So order amount colon equals to, that will be order quantity multiply by net sell price. Alright, so press the enter key, and that has been created. Now we will going at the bottom, this is particular area where we can store all the explicit measures. So just below the order amount column, we will click on auto sum here. That will automatically sum this entire column, and it gives a name that is sum of order amount and sum function. Just you wrote in Excel, this is a similar kind of a function available in DAX language. So we will rename this explicit measure name as total orders $sign. Okay, dollar is just for the representation that it's in dollar amount. Okay, that's not a part of this particular syntax. Colon and equals to is a part of the syntax. Okay, dollar is just for the presentation. Press the enter key and just expand this column size. You can format this number as well, increase the decimal or decrease the decimal. So it's 14.7 million around total orders. Okay, all right, let's add one more explicit measure below it, or you can add anywhere like here or here. Okay, so now we will calculate the returns as well. So let's start calculating the returns amount. So how are we going to do that? First we will give a name to that explicit measure, that is returns $sign. Dollar is just for presentation. Colon equals to, now we add one more DAX. This is known as calculate. You can understand this calculate DAX at this point of time just like you use sum is function in Microsoft Excel. So in sum is function you define the sum range, then you define the multiple criterias you would like to have, their ranges and their expressions. Similarly, sum is count as you use in Excel, you can imagine that as calculate in DAX Power Pivot. Okay, so the first argument of calculate is expression, that what kind of calculation you want to perform. You want to extract the sum, count, average, min, max. Okay, so in the expression we will write either we can use this like sum of order amount, okay, this way, or as you know that the best part of explicit measure is that it can be reused. So we have that kind of expression of sum already being stored as total orders. So we can call that explicit measure inside another explicit measure. So you can see that we have this explicit measure total orders. Instead of writing that particular narration like sum of this table and then column, we have called an explicit measure. So definitely this expression will give our amount. But what we need to filter, which is the second argument of calculate, is we need all those orders which has been returned, which are available in the return table. Okay, we need to calculate that amount, and returns amount will be negative, so we will multiply it by -1. So we will say that we need to filter the table name is returns data, and we need to pick the status column where we have that keyword which is known as returned, and we need to multiply it by -1. So that will give us an amount of returns, okay, which is 1.6 million around. Okay, now we need to also calculate the total net orders. we need to subtract the returns amount from the total order, so that will give a net orders. So that's very simple. Let's go to formula bar, write net orders, that is in dollars, colon equals to, so we need to take the total orders then plus the returns. So we are not adding the returns because returns are already negative, so plus minus will be minus. Okay, just press the enter key. The amount is here. Let's close the decimal. Okay, let's close the decimal for this part as well. So it's 13.1 million, right? So we have total orders, returns, and net orders right here. We will be adding some more KPIs as well. Let's say we need to calculate how many products, distinct products are there. So let's add one more explicit measure, that is for count products. For that we will be using the DAX, which is known as count rows, and we have that table which is known as products. Okay, so basically we know that products is a dimension table, and dimension table contains all the unique records without any duplicates, and count rows basically count all the rows, all the numbers, total number of rows which is presented in a specific table. Okay, so I will press the enter key, and that is 1263 products are there. Okay, and these are distinct count, basically that does not include any kind of duplicates. Then we can calculate shipping amount. So we have the shipping amount column as well, so that will, so now we will calculate the average of order amount column. So it's like average orders amount, average of orders in amount which is in dollars equals to, so you can add average, and for this we have the orders table and we have the order amount column, bracket close. All right, so we have 6 different explicit measures you can see on the Power Pivot window. Now what we do is, this is basically a backend where we have imported all the data from different files. We have created the explicit measures, and we have also set up the data model as well, which is a star schema. Now after completing all these necessary steps, we will make sure that it goes now on the spreadsheet. So we will click on pivot table and click on pivot table, and we will say that make this Power Pivot on the existing sheet. Click OK, and it will create a Power Pivot for us. So now you can see that a difference between a normal pivot table and Power Pivot is that you will see these 2 tabs, active and all, and in the all you have these 5 data sets which are coming from different data files. You have all the fields here. On the back end, the schema is being made, and you can just drag and drop any field you want in the columns or rows or values, and you can start making your Power Pivots. So now in the next step we will be adding some charts and visualizations and KPIs. For that we need multiple Power Pivots. We will be doing that. Also we will be adding a new sheet that will be renamed as like dashboard, and the existing sheet will be renamed as workings, where all our workings will be there. Okay, so the next step would be let's build the interface of dashboard report design. So if you can see this solve file, I have added the shapes and I have colored them into blue color. This is the text box for the headings you would like to give. Again, these are the text boxes. The others are linked text boxes with the working sheet where we will be putting all our KPIs in different numbers. So let's create this kind of interface into this sheet. So this is very blank sheet of dashboard. So I will go to insert, I will click on shapes, and I will add a shape, and I will just draw it like this. Okay, and you can just add a 3D to it, or you can add some shape effects, or you can change the color, or when you are making a dashboard for your own organization, you have to choose the theme colors, okay, of your organization. So I'm going with the blue color. Similarly, I will add one more. I will go to shapes and add a text box, and I can write my heading as sales analytical dashboard. Right, now you can further customize this text box as well. You can just go to shape format and click on shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. You can change the font color to white and make it bigger, and make it center. So as you like the formatting. So I hope you got the idea that how it is being formatted, as you can see on this dashboard, right? Then I have added these slicers. So how to add them, slicers, let's do that. So I will go to my workings area where I have placed my Power Pivot. Okay, so when you inside your Power Pivot, you will find the Analyze tab on top. Go to that, click on Insert Slicer, and if you find this blank, don't get confused, click on All, and from this dates table you have to add month, quarter and year slicer. Okay, so just click on it. It will add 3 slicer of year, quarter and month. Now you can see that we are getting just a month numbers here. We are not getting the slicer, if you can see on this particular file, as in with the description of Jan, Feb, March till December, right? So we need to correct this as well. We don't need this number wise months, we need description wise month. Okay, so for that I need to do some certain changes. I will go to Power Pivot, then I will click on Manage. So when I go to my dates sheet, I can see that there is no column which contains the name of that month, so I will add a calculated column for that. So we will be using a DAX. First let's give a name to it, so it will be month names as a heading. Then colon equals to, we will add a format DAX. So we will say that go to the dates table, pick the date column and give a format in months name spelling. So we have put 3 times M. Just press the enter key and it will give you all the months name, right? Save this file and then go to Excel Power Pivot and update. So I will right click on it and I will say refresh. Okay, so I will delete this month number slicer. I will again go to Analyze tab, Insert Slicer, and you can see there is a field called month name. So I will add this. Now another problem here is that we got the month names, but probably this is not in chronological order. This is in alphabetical order, like A to Z or Z to A. So we know that our calendars are chronological, sorted, Jan to December or December to Jan, right? So for doing that, we will again go to Power Pivot, click on Manage, and we do a slight correction here. So we will select the month names column and we will assign a value to each of the month on the back end with the help of a month number column. Okay, so for doing that, we selected the month names column. I will click on Sort by Column here, and we need to sort the month names based on a helper column, which is name as month, which contains a number of every month. So for each of the spelling here of the month will be assigned a value, so that sorting would be done easily and correctly as well. So I will press OK, and now when I go to again Excel, you can see that it has refreshed and now it has been correctly placed here as a chronological order from Jan to December. Now we want to place these 3 slicers on our dashboard area, so I will press the Control key and select all the slicers. Now I will press Control X to cut these slicers and to place on my dashboard, Control V. Okay, now here it is. Now we need to do certain changes here. We need to place them not as a vertical but as a horizontal, just as you see here, right? So for doing that, it's very easy step. You click on the slicer, go to the slicers tab on top and increase the size of the column number. So for example, we have 4 fields here. We have choose 4 in the columns field. We can just resize. We don't need the header, so I will just right click. I will go to slicer settings on the bottom, and from this contextual from this menu or from this window, I will just uncheck the display header. Okay, and I can just resize it again and I can place it to the proper place where I want, right? Similarly for the month names, we don't need this vertical list. We want to make it horizontal. So again on the slicer, we need to have 12, because there are 12 months, so we need to place them and we need to resize them as well, so it should look neat and clean and proper. We don't need the header here, so right click, go to slicer settings, uncheck the display header. You can also change the color as well. Just go to slicer and in the slicer styles you can select the dark or light color theme as well, right, and place it where you want. Similarly for the quarters, we'll go to slicer tab, columns, we will select 4 here and we can just resize it and hide the heading as well, right? So now we can place it We just drag and drop, and it will take 1 or 2 minutes for you to place it properly, just like as we shown here. Okay, now we need all these KPI numbers which we have created. So for that, we will go to the workings area, and we have created all those explicit measures in the orders table. So you can see a small FX sign. So we'll place them one by one: total orders, returns, net orders, shipping amount, count of products, average orders. So all these numbers are there, but you can see that these are in full numbers. We need to show them on our dashboard as 14.7 million, or if there is a return, negative 1.6 million in brackets. So we will be doing custom formatting here for each of this item as we want to like to show. Okay, so let's proceed with that. Okay, so now let's do the custom formatting part to make this full amounts that are in millions. So make it shorter so that it will look neat and nice on our this dashboard. So now these are basically the shapes which has been formatted correctly and aligned, and these are the slicers, as you know. So let's get started with the numbers. So I will just right click on it, and from this contextual menu I will go to value field settings. This will open up a window. I will go to number format. This will open up an additional dialog window. Go to custom, and here you can do the settings for positive numbers, negative numbers, 0, and general. So the first section is for the positive numbers. So we will start with hashtag, which means any number, show with a decimal and 1 digit after it. We don't want the last 6 digits from this number, so we will place a 1000 separator, which is comma here, and we will add M here for representation of millions, so it converted as 14.7 million. As you can see here, this is the format. Okay, now I will press OK, and you can see it's 14.7 million. Now I will go to the dashboard, and I will insert a shape here, which is a text box. I will click on this text box. I will go to formula bar, and I will press equal sign. I will go to working sheet, and I will pick this header, which is total orders $sign. Okay, and I can just resize it and reorder their alignment, and I will place like here. I want to just mark it as no fill in the shape and no outline. Okay, and we can resize it. Now I will copy this object, and I will paste it again on my spreadsheet, Control C and Control V, and I will change the link here. So equals to working sheet. Now this time I will pick 14.7 million. Okay, one thing which you came across is that by default, when you link any cell from the pivot table, it generates a get pivot data function. So you need to disable that as well. For doing that, you need to go to Analyze tab and click on options, and make sure that there is no check mark on generate get pivot data. Okay, so that's how you can link this with a shape. Otherwise, what will happen? Let me show you a demonstration. For example, if I turn on this option, now if I go back to my dashboard and copy and paste that object, now I will go to formula bar equals to. When I get here, you can see it generates get pivot data kind of a function here, and when I press enter, it will show me this particular warning: this formula is missing a range reference or a defined name. So basically it will not get you to connect with this particular object or as a link. So what you need to do, go to workings, go to working sheet, then go to analyze. Within your pivot, this options, just click on it again so that it could be disabled, and now you can follow the same process. Go to formula bar, press equal sign, go to workings, and link that cell. Now you can resize it, make it a bigger, bold, or any color you want to assign. Okay, so similarly, if you can see in my solve file, these all text boxes are basically linked with the Power Pivot, which shows you these different KPIs one by one. Okay, so let's do with the net orders and returns as well, and I hope that you will understand how we done net sale price, shipping amount, and count products. Okay, so let's go to our working file. Now we will make a copy of this existing object, copy, paste, and we will place something like here, equal sign, go to workings, and then now we have this returns amount, or you can say net orders. You can pick any one you like. again copy, then paste. Okay, then go to formula bar, equal sign. Okay, now it's showing the full amount because we will not format that on this object. We will go to this amount which is in Power Pivot, right click, again same procedure, go to value field settings, number format, go to custom and define that format which you require, and that is in million, right? For the negative amount, right click, value field settings, number format, custom, and here because you know that the first section is for the positive numbers, so we just need to follow around for the negative number. So to move to one section from another section, we have to place semicolon. This means that the user needs to do the setting of the next section, that is for the negative numbers. So here we will put a round bracket. We need a negative number in a round bracket, hashtag for any number, or you can write 0.0 as you like. Then 1000 separator, we will add M here for millions and press OK. That's it. So now we will link this here as well. This is for the net orders. Then we will go for Control C, Control V. Now here we will put the returns. So again link with the working sheet, that is returns, and then the amount of the returns is 1.6 million. Select both, make it a bit bigger, and do the formatting as you like. Okay, right. So similarly, now you got the idea how these KPIs has been set on this particular dashboard, as you can see in this already solved file. So these are basically linked objects with the working sheet where are all the pivots showing the numbers, right? The next is how to create these charts. So let's do that as well. So I will go to my working sheet and I will select this existing pivot entirely. I will press Ctrl C and I will move some rows downwards and I will press Ctrl V. Okay, and now I will do some changes here. So we don't need all these fields, so we will just uncheck. So we will uncheck them. Okay, so this is blank now, and now what we are required here is, so we need total orders, or you can say net orders in the values, and then in the regions we will pick the province ID. Okay, so we have different provinces names and their net or according to net orders. So we will add a bar chart. So I will go to analyze, click on pivot chart, and let's add a bar chart to it. Now let's do some formatting. Let's learn some formatting. We don't need a legend, just click on it, press the delete key. We don't need this grid lines, just click and delete. We need to hide these buttons, right click and click on hide all field buttons on the chart. You can just double click on the title and rename as top 5 provinces by net orders. Okay, this is the title. Now remember that in the bar chart when you insert the sequence or the series, how the pivot is showing you the names is being opposite on the bar chart always. Okay, so you can see Alberta, British Columbia like this, and then it's end on Yukon, so it's being reversed. So we need to correct that as well. For doing that, right click, go click on format access, and here you will see a feature that is called categories in reverse order. So just click on it and also click on add maximum category. Okay, so now your chart is being corrected. We don't need horizontal axis, just delete that. Now we need to filter only top 5 according to the net orders amount. So I will click on this drop down and I will say value filters. You can see top 10 here, click on it. You can either select top 10, bottom 5, top 5, any number you would like to have based on net orders amount, right? So when I click on OK, only now 5 provinces are being shown. Let's increase the width of these columns. For doing that, right click, format data series. You will see a gap with percentage. You need to decrease that. Okay, add the data labels, right click, add data labels. Now it's showing full amounts. We just need to see them as in millions in the small amounts. So right click on these data labels, click on format data labels, and from here expand the number category, select custom, and you will have that format is already defined, so it's showing me small amounts which are easy to readable. Okay, now just resize them, this chart. Okay, and once your chart is being ready, also we need to sort that into largest to smallest. So for doing that, open this drop menu again and go to more sort options and click on ascending net orders dollar. Okay, let me do that as descending. Alright, so this is now correct, and just press Ctrl X to cut and go to dashboard and press Ctrl V to paste it here, right? So, and resize it according to your requirement as you like. So this is the first chart, right? Simultaneously, if I talk about the second, third and fourth, so if we go to the solution, all these different power pivot has been made and different visualization has been selected for each of the chart. Okay, so let's do a couple of charts to be made here and then I will conclude. So for doing that, now this is the existing pivot. I will select this entire pivot, power pivot, and press Ctrl C, and let's escape few rows and press Ctrl V. Now in the second chart, what we are required here is we need to clear all the filters first, and then we need to see the fields. So I will click on here, make sure that all is being selected. So product container wise, we will have that so in the orders table, I will remove province ID and we'll have product container. So okay, and we will create again a bar chart for that. So pivot table analyze, pivot chart, and let's create a bar chart for that. And let's do all the formatting again. Hide these buttons, delete legends. Okay, yeah, these process you know already. Delete the horizontal axis, add the data labels, and then also to sort it like into Z to A, right? Or E to Z. Okay, they are basically being sorted like on the raw description wise, but we want as a net order. So we will go to more sort options and we select descending based on net orders amount. Okay, sending. Now one more thing is that we need to also rearrange the vertical axis as well. Right click, format axis, and categories in reverse order at maximum category. So this is how our chart is being corrected. Just click on data labels, right click, add data labels, expand the number, go to custom, and now it's showing me in millions. Double click the title and rename that as net orders by product container, right? Container. Increase the width of these column bars, so decrease the gap width percentage from here. Resize this as you like, press Ctrl X to cut this and put it on the dashboard, right? So this is as easy. If you are an intermediate Excel user and you create charts, you know how it's being working, right? Let's add two more charts to it, and we will be adding now two donor charts here, and you can already learn how to create a bar chart, and these are basically the column charts as well. Okay, so let's add chart total orders by customer segment. Okay, so for doing that, let's go to our main file where we are working. Okay, so again I will select this entire pivot table, copy, go to few rows below, paste it, and now from here I will exclude the product container and I will go to the orders table where I can pick the segments if they have okay, so in the customers we have the in the customers table we have the customer segment, and here it is. So we will go to analyze pivot chart, and this time we will select the pie chart. Okay, and it's basically a donut chart, kind of a pie chart, but it's a donut chart. So what we'll do, we'll do some formatting here. So hide all these buttons. We need to define the color, so we will go to design tab and click on change color. So let's have a good theme color. Increase the width, format data series, so donut whole size, okay, like this. Adding the data labels, so right click and add data labels. Okay, and again select the data labels, right click, add format data labels, and it should be in small amounts, in millions. Okay, let's change the font color to white, make it bold, a bit larger. We need this legend, but not on the right side, we need at the bottom. So click on plus sign and click on legend at the bottom. We need, let's rename the title as net orders by customer segment, right? And you can just resize it as well. Now let's resize this chart. Let's make this header a bit small, so go to home tab, decrease the font size. That's it. Now if this is ready, then click Ctrl X to cut this and paste on the dashboard and place it where you like, something like this. Okay, now when you click on any of the year, you can see all your charts in KPIs is being updated, right? That's great. And if you click on any month slicer, it's being also updating dynamically. So how it's going on the back end, so let me give an idea, because you know that every pivot table has its own memory cache in Excel, and we have created multiple pivot tables by copying and pasting, and just we changed the fields and created some visualizations. Okay, so one thing here which is very important, and you need to remember that on the back end all the pivots has been connected with the slicer. How to check that? Just right click on the slicer, from this contextual menu click on report connections, and you can see so far all the pivots has been check marked. So this means technically when we click on any of the slicer, all the pivots being filtered on that particular field, and all the visualizations being updated because numbers gets updated. Similarly, if you see another slicer, go to report connections, and you can see with this particular slicers all the pivot tables has been check marked, which means if I select any of the month in the slicer, on the back end all the pivot tables make filter themselves on that particular time period, and when the data gets changes, so these visualizations and numbers gets changed. Okay, so after adding the third donut chart, we will add one more visual. So we will go to our existing pivot, power pivot, copy that, go to some rows below, paste, and we will do some certain changes to it. So this time we will be making a net orders by ship mode. So for doing that, we will eliminate customer segment, and from the orders table we will have the ship mode, and we will drag and drop it, and we will add a donut chart to it. So analyze, pivot chart, and go to pie chart and select donut chart. Here it is. So do the formatting which is necessary for doing it. Legend at the bottom, you can rename the title as net orders by ship mode. Let's do the formatting. So go to design and select the color, right click, format data series, decrease the donut hole size, and also to add the data labels, right click, add data labels, make them into small. So go to number and custom. Okay, let's make it white, a bit bold, and do the resizing of this chart. Press Ctrl X to cut, and let's paste that on the dashboard. Okay, and place it whatever you like. Now you can see all the slicers is being working absolutely fine because report connections have been made. Okay, if you select any of the field within the slicer and you now want to select all of them, there are two methods. The first one is right click, and from here click on clear filter from here, so it will clear all the filters. Or you can just click on the first field and press the shift key and then the last field, and it will select all of them. So there are two methods, whatever you like. Then if I conclude this dashboard, now this particular dashboard has basically 8 different visualizations. 4 we have created 3 KPIs, as you can see here on this particular file, but you got the logic that how this entire dashboard has been completed. You can add order amount by product category, you can add product category by count, orders amount by region. So you have to select the appropriate visualization for the fields. so that the user of the dashboard can see it and take the decision accordingly. The final step is to bring and apply the crap rule, which we are applying here, and this formatting part usually takes 30 to 40 minutes additional to complete it, or there are any certain changes that will take an additional time. So I hope you like this video, comprehensive video, that how we created this entire sales analytical dashboard with the help of Power Pivot, where we have learned a lot of new concepts. And I hope that you will like and share this video with your colleagues as well. Do share as much as you can, that will be highly appreciated, so that more people and more professionals can learn and do some different kind of reporting at their workplace. Please do subscribe my channel Excel Basement on YouTube. You can follow Excel Basement on Facebook as well. You can visit my website, that is rahimzulfiqar.com. I will be uploading these kind of videos more in future. If you like it, and share it. And thank you